Hello?
Beneath in comment section, most of them are getting like they didn't get the offer letter. Can you check once into the chat box?
Yeah,
Ah,
I'm checking.
thank,
I'm in
thank,
that
thank.
only.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Hello everyone. Am I audible? Is my voice is audible to you? All of you able to hear my voice? Okay, so shall we start our today class? Right. So before starting the today's class and lots, before move to the new topic, can you guys give me a quick recap of our last class? In our last session, what we did, what is the feature we implemented in our Food Genie app? Can you guys tell me what we did in our day before yesterday's class? In our means in our last class. Yes, correct, Lofi. We learned about what authentication, right? And we implemented that feature in our app also, right? Means we started implementing, right? We didn't complete that, right? We didn't completed that feature, but we started implementing, right? Okay. So from that onwards, we are going to continue. Okay. So first in today's session, we are not going to learn any new concept. Okay. Already concept we learned. Okay. Just we are going to implement it. Okay. How to create a database. That database work only we are started doing it, right? And then the authentication feature will complete it first of all. Okay. So now all of you please open your VS Code. Before that, can you guys confirm one thing? Okay. I told right. So this medieval folder and then this util folder. These two folder you should copy paste in these two folder you should be implemented in your project. Okay, course is already available in the LMS. Okay, utils and middleware folder I gave to you, and I told you guys to import it in your project. Okay, in your pro- project folder. Have you done that? Have you created this middleware and util folder inside your project? Yes or no? Okay, only storage, only that. Direct we didn't export it. Okay, we didn't export it. So that here in the model folder only you are asking, right? No, we didn't export yet. Okay. Still the work is pending. That's what I told. So we didn't complete anything. Okay. Just we started. Okay. In today's we will complete and we will test every controllers. We will test every feature in the postman also. Right? Okay. So all of you completed this one? Right. Okay. Okay. If any of you not imported this utils and middleware folder inside your project, please log in to our LMS. Okay, go to the LMS and enter the day tree section. You can find this utils and middleware. Okay, also the day tree record session is also available here. Okay, day tree record session also is available here, and resources regarding the day tree also available. Okay, so just download all the files present inside this utils folder. Okay, three files are there that you have to import it. Then inside middleware also we have three files. Okay, so what does this each file? What this each file does to us, what is the use of it? Okay, that also we will study. Okay, just we are not going to copy paste. Okay, so what is the use of that particular file? That we will teach when we are going to use that. Okay, when we are going to actually use in your project, that time I will we will see about the each file also. Okay, right, clear. Okay, now let's start. Okay, right. Now what we have already completed, what we have already completed so far, user schema, right? User schema, and then roots file only we created. We didn't implement the API, but just we created the roots file, right? Now we are going to implement the authentication step by step. Okay. So listen guys, if any of you not imported this utils and materials in your project, means go to the LMS. Okay. And the LMS you can find in the day 3 section. And then just import in our project. Okay. Just create two new folders as a utils and middleware, and inside that creative files. Okay. Now we are going to implement this authentication step by step. Okay. Whatever authentication we are going to implement first. First, we need to implement basic authentication. Okay. So which one is the basic authentication means what? Means important one. Okay. First, main feature is what? Sign up. Right. Then login. After that, we are going to implement the logout functionality. Okay. These are mandatory, right? These three only we will call as our authentication mode, right? First time we are creating the user, then whenever we want to log in that app, that time we will use the login feature. Then if you want to come out of that app, in that time we will do the get logout. Then along with that, we will also going to implement the get profile. Okay, how to get our particular profile. These functionality we are going to add it first. Okay, okay, one by one we are going to implement this functionality in our project. Okay, if we have completed the sign up means we are going to test it. Simply we are not going to write it. Also we are going to test it. How we can test it? By using the postman. Okay, first we are going to create the controller. After each controller we will create one root, and then we will test it in the postman, right? So shall we start? Okay, now let's start with the sign up. Okay, sign up means what? Creating a new user. Right. So we take user data and we will store it in the database, right? So flow is what? First from the database, sorry, first from our front end we will receive the data, user data, right? And then we will receive it in the controller. Then from the controller we will save it in our database. At last we need to send the response back to the client, right? Whether the user is created or not. Okay, so for that, listen, in our day before, in our last class, what we did in our last class we created on controller, right? So this is what we have created as a controller, right? We received the details from the client. Okay, so this is here what we are receiving the data from the client. Fine. But listen guys, here I am going to add one more thing. That is what? This entire function. Okay, this entire function I am going to wrap it inside one more function. That is what? Catch asynchronous. Okay, so listen, here in the middleware we return one function. Okay, catch async errors. Okay, so what is the use of this file? Okay, so if you ask what is the use case of this file means, listen carefully. Okay, so every time, okay, so assume this server we are doing something. Okay, we are performing some task. Okay, so before that I would like to tell you what is the use case of this. Wait a second, I hope my screen is visible to you. Okay, so in between if any interruption happen in the screen or in my voice, please let me know. Okay, right. So what does this catch async error is doing? Means listen, it automatically handle the error in your async controller. Okay, for example, see, here we are doing some task. Right, what we are doing? We are fetching the data from the user, and then we are storing in the server, and in the server we are doing something, right? But if the error occurs, okay, so Express will not catch it properly. Server may crash or error won't go to the client. Okay, so we need to handle it. Okay, so for this handle we can write the try catch block. Okay, we can handle in each and every control, but instead of that what I'm doing, for handling the that error, here I return the code. Okay, I return in one place, and this code I'm going to use it in my every controller. Okay, so just I'm going to wrap it inside just I'm going to wrap this in our every function. Okay, so for that first we need to import it. Okay, first we need to use import that function to our current file. Okay, so function name is what? Catch async errors. Okay, so this function code I'm going to import it here. So what is the folder name? Middleware, and inside that I'm going to write this catch async error. Right, now this one I'm going to use it here. Okay, so this entire async function I'm going to wrap it inside this. Yeah, that's it. Fine. So please, you guys also do with me. Okay, so whatever code here I'm typing, please follow it along with me. Okay, right. So where to write quiz is nothing but listen inside the day two section. We already opened the quiz. Okay, inside the day two section, quiz is there. Okay, there you can attend it. Okay, right. Now next, okay, we received the data. Okay, next what you are going to do? I told right. So for the avatar, okay, for storing the images in our database means if you are creating the user means for each user we need to set the profile picture right in every application. For our profile we will have one image right profile picture. So for that we need to write some specific code okay to handle that image. Okay, but listen here what I'm going to do means listen carefully. So now at this moment we are not going to write the code for it. Okay, for that you need some additional knowledge right what is my cloudinary where we are storing and how we are getting the how we can host the images in third party website and how we can call that URL and store in the our database. So these concepts is so what we can do. Let's skip this part. Okay, now let's skip this. Okay, later we will come to this part. Okay, here only just for your reference you can add it the place code. Okay, right for image uploading. Okay, image uploading is bending. Okay, so like that just write this command. Okay, later you can also refer it. Okay, in the same place we will write the code for. Okay, now without storing the image, okay, without storing the profile image we are going to create the user account. Okay, user account we're going to create but without having the profile picture. Right, so now this line we have got the data. Right, now we are going to save it. Okay, before saving it, listen, before saving the user we must handle password security. Right, okay, as I already mentioned, password should not be stored as it, right? Password should be hashed first. Okay. First of all, we need to hash the password, right? Then only we can store it on our database, right? So far, where we return the code for that, listen, in our model, okay, go to the user model and listen. After this, return the schema. Here we return the one middle, right? So listen in the user schema. Okay, each user whenever you are going to store the whenever you are going to create one new user that time this function will run. Okay, so inside this function what we are doing, listen, this function runs before saving the user. And why do we need it? We are going to hash the password means listen, if user, listen here, when user enters password, okay, we hash it with the help of this function. Then in our database we are storing the hashed version. Okay, hashed version of the password. Okay, so that's the use of it. Fine. So now come here. Okay, now come back to the controller. Here we are creating our actual user document in our database. Okay, this time only we are actually storing in our MongoDB. Okay, in our database, this is where we are storing the user detail. Fine. So when you are going to call this create method, before that, before storing it, this function will be executed. Which function in the model we defined it hashing the password. This function will run first, then only user details will be stored in our database. right? Fine. So sir, your screen is not clear. Okay, manager Kaif so told like screen is not clear. So is my screen is not clear? Everyone, is my screen is visible to you? Please all of you confirm once whether my screen is visible to you, or is it blur screen? Is my screen is clear or is blurring? Okay, so a little bit I zoomed in my VS Code. Okay, I hope now it's visible. Okay, so is it okay now? Yeah. Okay. So listen, when we call this user.create, Mongoose automatically runs our pre-save middleware. That is what hashing password. Right. Right. Now we need to send the token. Okay. As we discussed in our last class. Okay. As we discussed in our last class, after storing the user, we need to send the token, JWT token back to the client. Right. So that it will be stored in the browser. Okay. And then whenever we are sending the new request, server will identify us without sending the any other credential. Okay, so if new request we are sending in, we are not going to send our email and password, right? So that email and password will be stored inside the JWT. With the help of JWT, our server will identify who we are, right? According to that, we can proceed with our next step in the application, right? For that, what is the for that we need to send token back to the user, right? So whenever user sending the new request, with the help of this token, our server will understand who we are. That's it, right? So first time user creating the account, that time we need to send token back, right? So that's what here I'm writing. Okay. So this send token is what one of the function. So that's what we implemented in our utils folder. Okay. Inside the util folder, we return this send token code. Okay. So listen, I'll simply tell you what this function exactly do. Okay, this function create the JWT token and send it to the client. Okay, so listen, see here what I'm doing. Okay, so inside the send token. Okay, send token means do some we need to follow some set of protocol here. Okay, first we need to create the token based on our ways. Means that JW algorithm as a developer we are only going to write. Then whatever then we are going to send it as a cookie to the user to the client we are sending, right? So whatever cookie configuration we want to do, okay, with our requirement, okay, how we are going to implement in our app, based on that we need to write the cookies code, and then we are sending back to the user as a cookie, right? So here, okay, so we need to write the function to listen guys. First of all, we should write the code for creating the token. Okay, so where can we create that? Where can we write the code? Same in our user model only. From okay, so here I'm going to write the code. Okay, for creating that JWT token. Okay, so all of you go to the models folder. Okay, inside the models folder, open the user scheme user file. Okay, now inside this file we are going to write the code to create the JWT token. Okay, after this hashing password. Okay, so here I'll write the command like create JWT token. Okay, now inside this I'm going to start writing user schema. Then I'm going to create one method for the schema. Okay, means for every user we can access this code. Okay, my function name is what get JWT token. Okay, fine. So inside this function, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create the JWT. Okay, JWT, I'm going to sign admin, nothing but JWT token. First of all, I'm creating. Okay, right. So ensure that you already imported this JSON web token dependencies. Okay, now inside that, what I'm going to do, first of all, three parameters we need. Okay, first is nothing but ID. Okay, for each JWT token, we need to give some ID. That ID should be unique. Okay, so which ID we are using means, listen, whenever you are going to store the new user or new data, your new document you are creating inside the MongoDB means, for every document MongoDB will assign one ID. Okay, so for this user is what, each user is what, one document to our MongoDB. For this document, what is the ID created by the MongoDB automatically? The same ID we are going to use it as what, ID. Then second parameter is what, our string, our how, what is the string we are using to write our JWT secret. For example, see here, this one I'm going to return inside my .env file. Okay, sensitive data. Okay, means JWT secret key. Okay, JW is secret. Okay, listen. For the teaching purpose, I will tell you okay how to create it. But listen, all of you, you all should create your unique JWT secret. Okay, based on this only. Okay, based on this only, JW will create one string. For example, see here. Now come to the config file. Okay, so in the config folder, config.env is there, right? Okay, instead the config.env, listen, create these three variables. Okay, this is the string. Okay, based on the string. Okay, our JWT dependency is going to take one by one character from this, and then it's going to give one unique string for us. Okay, for each token, that unique string will be given by the JWT. Okay, for that we need to give some input to them, right? Based on that input only, it can give us some output. Okay, that input is what, this secret key. Okay, that input is what, this secret key. Okay, so so ensure guys, you are writing the secret key by your own. Okay, don't just copy paste this value. Okay, don't return the same value. Okay, variable name should be same. Okay, in the left side of the equal sign, whatever variable name we created, that should be same. Okay, JWT secret, in even in your characters also, you should not change anything. All the characters should be in uppercase only. Understood? Create three variables, JWT underscore secret and JWT underscore expire and JWT underscore expire time. Okay, like this, create totally three variables. Okay, you should not change anything in the character or cases. Okay, right side value you can change, no problem. Okay, the string key you can change it. Okay, listen, you should change it first of all. Okay, is it mandatory? Okay, write your this key by your own, and then expiry time. Okay, how much time, after how much time it should be expire, that time, that day wise we are setting, and in the time wise we are mentioning, time and day both we are setting it. Okay, right, these three things you copy paste in the env file, right? Config.env file. Okay, now let utilize it. Okay, so why we created that? For creating our JWT, right? Now comes back to the model file. Okay, now here we are writing, right? Okay, first this key we are using, and then expiration time. Okay, after how much time this JWT can expire. Okay, that also we are only going to mention. Okay, that is what our third parameter. Okay, so listen, I'm calling the field called expiration, and how much time or in how much days it can expire. That's what here I'm going to mention. Okay, process.env JWT expire. Okay, so these two values I used here. Understood? So this is how we are creating the JW token. Okay, so listen. So far, just we are creating it. Who will send that to the client? That the code we return inside the send token. Listen, T-Rex. Okay, so this ID is nothing but, see here. Okay, so listen. This third ID is nothing but, whenever you are going to create a new document. Okay, in MongoDB, each data. Okay, for example here, user means what? Each user is what? One data for the MongoDB, right? So we are storing the user details as a one document. Okay. So listen, in MongoDB, I'll open this. Okay, so this is what our Food Genie app. If you want, I'll open you other applications. For example, let's take this one project cluster. Okay, so this is another one project database. Okay, so here, if you notice one thing, assume this is the quiz app. Okay, in the quiz app, data is what? Questions, right? In quiz app means, in quiz app, what could be the data? What could be the data in the quiz app? Questions, right? Now listen. Now inside this project, we have a data of the questions, right? So each question here is what? Here each question is what? Data. Okay, listen. Totally we have 10 number of data. Okay, so here each question is what? Data. For the each question, okay, for the each document. Okay, listen guys, each question is what? Document in MongoDB. Question is what? Data for this application. Application name is QuizUp. For that application, data is what? The questions. For each question, it will be considered as a document in MongoDB, right? For each document, MongoDB will assign one unique ID. Okay, so listen. So here, if you notice one thing, okay, here we have a one question, right? Question name, and then option for that question and answer for that question. Okay, these three things we are, as a developer, we are going to insert it. Okay, but this ID is there, right? Here one ID. This will be automatically assigned by our database. Okay, MongoDB automatically will create for each document. Unique ID will be created by our MongoDB. Fine. So this is what quiz application. Okay, like that in our Food Genie project, we are going to store the user details, right? We are going to store our user detail. Okay, so here each user is what? One document. Here each user will consider as what? One document. So same, MongoDB will assign one unique ID to for our each document, right? Means for each user, unique ID will be assigned by what? MongoDB, right? So that ID, I'm going to use it as a what? For creating the token. That's it. This dot admin, it will refer to document ID created by the MongoDB. Okay, for creating the token. Telex, is it clear? Okay, I hope now it's clear to you. Okay, right. Now we'll move to the next part. Okay, token is created and we send it also. Okay, for that code we already written inside this utils folder. Okay, so in that way, sign up we completed. Okay, in sign up, complex thing is what? Hashing the password and sending the token, JWT token back to the client. Okay, that is the complex part. Remaining apart from that, creating the user and storing the database is very simple because MongoDB is already giving one method for it. Okay, for that operation, MongoDB already giving some method, right? Okay, complex part with that. Right. Now our goal is to just test this whether that sign up is working or not. Okay, so for that, what we need to do? Okay, controller is there. Okay, how can we indicate our MongoDB and then our server with the help of the API, right? API only goes to tell the MongoDB, right? This is what data we want. Okay, so that API we need to declare it, right? So in the roots folder on that day, we did something. Okay, we create our controller and then we give a name also. Okay, before that, see, listen, guys. All of you come to the models user folder, user file. Here we need to export it. Okay, the schema just we defined, but we didn't export it. If you are exporting that schema only, we can use it in other application, right? So now once you return everything, okay, don't this line, whatever if line, if now I'm going to type it, that should be present at last line. Okay, so let me move to the top. Okay, so in this schema, whatever functionality I want to add it, that I attach. Now just I'm going to export it. Okay, so that I can utilize in other files. Okay, so mongoose model and then user then user scheme. Now we export it, right? So now this control, that's now this model we are using in our control, right? Control also we declare. Now this controller we need to, this control means nothing but this function we need to call, right? When that particular API is getting, that time this function needs to call. Okay, how can we call that function? By using this API. Okay, right. So now this API we need to indicate to our server, right? So all of you please open the app.js. Okay, here this command is there, unnecessary command is there. Okay, just remove that. Okay, so here whatever packages dependency we need to import it, that we imported, then express app is created. Now listen carefully. Now what I'm going to do? Okay, this server is running, right? This one also we don't want. Okay, these two things also we don't want, just delete it. Okay, now I'm going to indicate this API. Okay, so now listen carefully. App.use, I'm going to write the API user, and then so whatever rules we define here regarding the authentication, whatever rules we define here, that router, okay, I'm going to export it. Now listen, module dot export. Here what I'm exporting, this router. Okay, so in single router I'm going to integrate various APIs here. Okay, so various API I'm going to put it in one variable that is called router. Okay, so that I can export only that particular router here. Understood? Okay, right. Next, now this router is exported here, right? So this router I'm going to use it inside that app.js. Okay, before that I need to import it, right? So listen, this router here we are exporting. Okay, inside the auth.js file we are exporting that router. Now we are going to import it inside our app.js. Okay, so with the name of our auth routes, whatever routes related to the authentication, that all the routes I'm going to write it inside a single file only. Okay, so that I'm naming it as about auth routes and giving the file path here, routes inside that auth folder. That's it. Okay, so if you are calling the API, okay, so our API is what? HTTP, our port, our service is running on port number 8000, right? So localhost 8000 followed by that, if you are writing this API name, means you are calling the auth routes. Okay, right. Auth routes you are calling. We are calling this auth routes. Right. Now, in the auth routes also we are going to define many routes. Okay, not only for the sign up. Okay, again, next we are going to implement the login functionality, and then we are going to implement the logout functionality. Right. So listen, how can we differentiate each API means? Followed by that, we are going to use the one more API name also. Okay. So sign up along with this API name, API user, followed by that, if you are going to write the sign up means you are calling the sign up controller. Understood? Okay. Right. Now, in that way, we integrated our API and then with the server. Okay. Now, please, all of you open your LMS. Sorry, open your Postman, not LMS. Open your Postman application. Right. I hope all you all have downloaded this file. Okay. Now, inside this, okay, I created new in my workplace. I created a new project as well, food order project. Now, inside that, okay, please select this three icon. Okay, this three dot icon and select the first option as about add request. Okay, now this kind of UI will be created. Okay, so in this UI, we are going to test our API. Okay, so first we need to write the API. Okay, API is what? First of all, it's running on our local host, right? Okay, HTTP localhost and then port number. Port number is what? Our server is running on port number 8000. Our port is running on 8000. Okay, and then followed by that API name we should mention. Okay, that what API user. Okay, means I'm going to do something regarding the authentication. API user. Okay, then what type of authentication function we are going to perform, whether it can be a sign up, logout, or login. What is that? That is what sign up. Okay, so the sign up one I'm going to mention it here, right? And listen, sign up means what? It's a get request. Sign up means we are we getting anything from the server? No, right? We are sending something to the server. Yeah. Are we fetching the data from the server? No. Sign up means what? We are sending the data to the server, right? So it should be what? It should be a post request, not the get request. It should be a what? Post request, right? So in the Postman app also, you should change. Okay, change this get. By default, you will get the get request. Okay, change it to the post. Clear? Right? Have you changed it? Right. Now, here we need to listen. This send post means we are sending some data to the server. Okay, the data you have to mention where in the body, in the request body, we are going to send it. So in that, select the raw option. Okay, what type of data we are sending? We are sending data in the JSON format. Right. Now listen. Here you need to write the data. Okay, whatever data you want to send, like your name, your email, or whatever password you want to give, that you can send it here. Right. Okay, I already have a predefined one. So that's what here I am going to use it. So listen, guys. Here, just I'm using the dummy content for my teaching purpose. Okay, so listen, name is what test and email is what undergoes email, and this is what the password. Okay, and password confirm, then mobile number. Okay, everything I'm sending in the string form. Right. So listen, now I'm going to send it. Okay, before that, listen, guys. For that, whatever changes we did, that we should save it, right? Okay, now servers running here, that I'm going to stop it. Okay, before that, before saving it, okay, now listen. Now, whenever we are doing the changes, that time one we have to save it, and then again we have to run the server. We have to close the terminal again. We have to run our server, right? So this is headache thing. Okay, one by one. Whenever we are doing the changes, we need to save it. Control plus N. We have to stop the terminal, stop the server. Again, we have to restart it, right? So what I can do means, what I'm going to do the changes here means, if I'm doing the changes, server should be restarted. Okay, if I doing any changes in my project folder means, after saving it, server should be restarted. Okay, I'm not going to do it manually. How? For that, listen, one easy command is that all of you please go to the your package.json. Okay, in the script, this is the command we are using. Right? npm start means by using the node command, we are starting our server.js. Okay, this is what our entry file, right? Server.js file. Now I'm going to write the command name as what dev. Okay, development. I'm indicating what development. Okay, so listen, mention that in each line, comma operator should be present. Okay. After this line, add this comma operator and then write the command as a dev and inside this double quotes. Okay. After the colon, inside the double quotes, mention like this nodemon. Instead of node command, I'm going to call the nodemon command and then I'm going to insert it. Okay. So now listen. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to write the command like npm run dev. Okay. This is my command. Listen, npm run dev. Okay. So in that way, I don't need to rerun it. Okay, and before that, all of you, okay, please do this thing also, npm I nodemon. Okay, ensure that you have installed this package in your system. Okay, so npm I nodemon. Listen, this dependency also we should import. This is what the package name, nodemon. So if it is installed successfully, here this package name will be visible. Okay, what is listen, now nodemon package we installed, version is what 3. This is what the major version and this is what the minor version 3.1. 3 is the major version, 3.1 is what minor version. Yeah, now it's installed, right? Okay, check it. Okay, after done that, you can do these changes. Okay, add these lines inside your package.json. Okay, where you have to add it means, see, listen, after the start command. Okay, after this command only you have to write. Okay, you should not write at last or somewhere. Okay, this line. After that, run this command npm run dev. Yeah, Now our server is running, right? And our MongoDB also connected successfully. Right? Now come to the Postman and test it. Okay. So what is the error here? Avatar is not defined. Means something, any mistake we did in our code. Yeah. So listen, avatar. Okay. So here in the user controller. Okay. So this is how you have to debug it, guys. Okay. Some error if you are getting means it's not like, okay, error we are getting means it's not like everything is went wrong. Okay. Only in single page in somewhere you did a mistake. Okay. How I can find that mistake? Mean listen, just okay. In the postman is already giving us clearly it's giving us right. Avatar is not defined. Means avatar. Okay, avatar is like a if you have some basic knowledge about the programming, easily you can find. Avatar is not defined means something we return as avatar, but our JavaScript is not aware of that. What is method? Then you have to go. Okay, only one single function only we implemented, right? Okay, that's why we are telling first create the code and then test it in the postman. Okay, if you're writing the code, at that moment you test it. Okay, if you write every code, every functionality we implement, at last we are going to test it. Mean that time it will become headache, right? In where I did the mistake, in which part I did that mistake. Okay, in if I written 1,000 lines of code, in that entire 1,000 lines also I need to debug it, right? Now our work is easy. Just I we implement only one function, right? In that one function only error should be there. Where I have that avatar is not defined. So listen, if you have a multiple and also no problem, just plus this control plus F, you can find it. Okay, just type it. Wherever I return the avatar, only one place. Only one place. If you are clicking the down arrow means it will check the next match. If you are selecting the up arrow means it will go with previous match. Okay, that's it. Okay, now only one single avatar. What is that? Means we are not created, but in the database we are trying to store it. Just remove it. We didn't create any avatar, but we are trying to store it in the database. Now see here. Now I just did the control plus F. Just I saved my changes. Right. Now server is restarting again. Automatically is restarting again. Right. That is the advantage here. Advantage of that code. Okay. Now I am resending again my request. Now let's see. This time is it working? Yeah. Now it's working. Right. That's why we got a response about 200. Okay. 200 okay means what? Listen. When I hover over this postman, in the postman UI only is telling me what is the meaning of that response. Request successful. Server has responded as required. What you expected, that's what server is responded. Okay. What means server also we only created the server code is responded because data everything is perfect. If you are doing any mistake in that, any data, any validation is wrong. For example, password is we told is a minimum of 6 character, right? If password we are not sending in 6 character, we are sending 4 or 3 character, means definitely you will face a error in that. Right? Now listen, now user is created successfully, right? 200 okay message, right? Means user signed up means what? User should be created. Right? Now please go to your database, right? So please refresh it once. Okay, so here I don't know how many of you able to see this. Just here one refresh database option is there. Click it. Okay, one new folder will be created as a test. Okay, and inside that we have a collection called users. Collection means nothing but group of documents, multiple documents you are storing inside what collection. Okay, so in the file system and if you want to say, it can be look like what folder. This is folder. In the MongoDB term, we will call it as what collection. Right term to call it in MongoDB, it's a collection. Listen, inside that we have a files. Each file we will call as what document in MongoDB. Right, right. Now this name and this email, password, phone number, whatever we send here, that everything is stored in our database. Okay, means sign up means user account created in our application. Right. Okay, if I try to do the sign up again, listen, as I already mentioned, when we created our schema, okay, when we designed our schema, that time what we did, email should be unique, right? Listen, email should be unique. If already one user is present at that, okay, listen, email should be what? Unique. If already one email, same email ID is sitting in our database, mean new user should not be created, right? already that email ID is presented inside our database. Inside our database, already one email ID is stored. If again one more user tries to create a account with the same email ID, mean that should not happen, right? Now let's test this. What will happen here if I try to do that? Yeah, now the server is not created the new user. Now it's returning some error. 500 internal server duplicate key error collection. Okay, if you tested in the database, yeah, if you refresh also, you will get only one single document only is there, right? Now user is created, and in the response what we got before that. Okay, so yeah, so listen, what I'll do, just I'll delete this. Okay, now nothing user is created here. Now we can resend it. Okay, now this time it will be created, right? Now it's successfully created in our database. Listen, this is what our token. Okay, so this is what our JWT token. With our input, this JWT token is created. So okay, in the response we got this JWT token. Clear? Okay, if you're doing refreshment, here you have that user credentials. Fine. Okay, now we implemented our sign up functionality and we tested also. Right. So shall we move to our next controller login? Which one we completed so far? Sign up. Right. Sign up we completed. Then we are going to move to the login one. Okay, what is my login? Verifying the user. Right. We are going to verify the user. Okay. Means how we will verify it? We will check the email and password, right? At the time of login, we'll get the email and password. Okay. So listen, how the login will work means from the client. Means from the front end, we are going to get some data like email and password. Then we are going to check it in our database whether that email and password, whether that email ID is present inside our database. Yes, if it is present, that means manager Kaif, if you miss the class, means record session will be available in your LMS. Okay. If you already registered for our internship, means we will have access of this LMS. Okay. From here, you can watch the record session. Okay. Or in our YouTube channel also, record session will be there. Okay. The Webstack Academy YouTube channel, already day one, day two, days recorded classes are available. And listen, guys, if anyone not subscribed our channel, please subscribe it. Then so that you don't miss any notification. Right, whenever class is starting or whenever we are giving any new update regarding the quiz or any other work regarding this internship, means you will get the notification instantly. Okay, otherwise there is a chance to miss out something. So that ensure that you subscribe this Webstack Academy channel also. Right now, come. Okay, so in the database we are checking if the email ID present means we are going to compare the password whether that both password are same or not. Yes, if it is same means that time login is successful. Again, we need to send back the token to the user. Right. Again, when we send with listen, maybe if user created also he can, if user doing the sign up feature also he can use our application, or if user doing the login also he can use our application, right? Use our application means what? Whenever user sending the new request, server should identify it, right? For that is the use of the token, right? Okay. Now let's start implement this login functionality in our application. Okay. Now listen. Here I'm going to write the code to login for login user. Okay. So first function I'm going to write it. Okay. That function I'm not going to use only inside this file. I want to export it. So because of that, first I'm writing the export keyword to export this function. Function name is what login. And as usual, same this function also I'm going to wrap it inside the catch async error. Okay. So now you understand, now you will understand what is the use case of this catch async error. Okay. Without this catch async error, again we need to handle the again we need to write the code to handle the errors. Okay, now in one place we return the code for handling the errors and then we are reusing it again. That's it. Okay, now inside this again we are creating one async function. Okay, and here listen, here we are going to call the three parameter, okay, to pass out to the next controller. Okay, this is what my function. Okay, in this function we are going to write our code. Okay, now listen, from the user, from means from the friend end, whatever details we are going to get for the login. For the login also, we need password confirm, phone number and all? No, right? Only email and password in have. Okay, so this one only I'm getting the email and password from the request body. Okay, so after that, if anyone is missing like email or password, if any one of the value is missing means, so that time what we have to do, we don't need to execute this login function, right? If any one of the field is missing means, just we can return the error. So for that I'm using this nest controller, and then here I'm creating one new error handler object. Okay, and inside that I'm pausing the error like please enter mail and then password. Just a basic validation. Understood? So now listen, this error handler is what? It's also one of the already pre-written code where we inside our utils folder we create a, right? So that error handling, that function also I'm going to handle it here. Okay, just I'm going to first of all just I'm going to import it here. I hope I'm audible to you. Is anyone? Yeah, yes, still web. So I'll send the LMS link. Okay, at once complete the class, I'll send the LMS link in the chat box. Okay, and I'll tell you how to do the login process on that. Okay, fine. So now listen. So here I'm importing this error handler code here. Okay, so here from where I'm importing from the drills folder error handler file. So that one here I'm using basic validation whether if any one of the field is missing or not. Now, right now user entity details. Okay, valid credentials, but we need to find it. We need to find the user from that. Okay, so from our database we are going to find one user. Okay, how can we find? With the help of the email. Okay, so check whether this email, whether is there any user with that email. Yes, user is there. Then listen, you should send the user detail along with the password. Means why? Means listen, when we define our schema that time, in every response what we did, we should not include the password, right? But if you are doing the login means we should do it, because in the schema P password if we selected as about false, so password is hidden by default. Okay, but in login we need it, because with this password also we are going to compare, right? We are going to compare user password and then our database stored password, both are same, so we need it now. So right now we need it, just that's why for temporarily we are using it here. After that, suppose with this email no user is present, then what I can do, don't need to execute any code inside this login. You can move to the next function and just create one new error with the help of this error handler, and here what type of message I want, invalid email or password. Okay, any one of the field is wrong. Okay, so there is no user with the given email and password means you can simply throw this error. Okay, uh, all of you please confirm whether is my screen is visible. Sorry, is my screen is blur or is it clear? All of you please check once, confirm it in the chat box. Okay, So next, what we need to do? Okay, just I'm going to write this one invalid email. Okay. With the help of this email, I'm going to check whether is there any user is present with this email or not. If it is not present, it's clear. Kind of, we cannot zoom in after this. Okay, if I'm zooming in, this is how it will look. Okay, we go to here. Okay, so this is the right way. I think your network connection is not good. That's why your screen is looking like a blur. Okay, for others it's okay, right? Okay, please check your network connection from your side. Yeah. Now listen, if there is no user with this email elements, we are going to throw the error like invalid error. Okay. Now what we need to do? We need to compare the password. Okay. So for the comparing password also we need to write the code. So for that, listen again. I'm going to the user schema. So here I'm going to start writing the code. Okay. So here I'm going to write the code for comparing the password. So listen. Now here inside our model folder. Okay. So here I'll create one more function called password compare. Okay, now here I'll create one new method like user schema methods, and then this is password is correct. Okay, password correct password. Now here I'm creating the function. Okay, and inside this two things I'm collecting. What is what candidate password? Candidate password means nothing but what users send. Okay, so that one I'm collecting here, and one more thing, that is what user password in our database, that I'm collecting here. Okay, so these two are what my function parameter. Okay, so these two I'm collecting as a parameters. Okay, now inside this function body, okay, inside this function body I'm going to return whether it's true or false. Okay, how can I return? Before that, listen, what I receive from the candidate, that is normal password, but what we actually stored in our database, that is a hashed password, right? So listen again. First of all, I need to hash. Okay, first of all I should hash the user password, what user currently send now. That password first I need to hash it, right? Then only I can compare with the our database hashed password, right? So listen, so for that here I am calling the bakery package, and then I am comparing both candidate password and then user password. Okay, so both things I'm sending it. Okay, so in first it will has this candidate password what user sending at the time of login function. Okay, and then it will check with our user password, that's nothing but what is stored in our database, right? So this is what our function code. Okay, so everyone return that. Okay, right. Now come back to the controller. So after this login, next what we are going to do? Next, that is password is matching. That function we use, right? Function we defined in the model, right? That function here only we are going to call it. Okay. So for that, first we need to use our model. Okay. And then from there we are going to call that method. Method name is what we call created as what? Correct password. Right? We return as what? Correct password. So here two things we pass. Right? First one is what? Password. What users can currently send now. Then second one is what? What password actually stored in our database. Okay. So these two things we are passing it. Okay. If password is matched, if it is true means no problem. But if it is false means we should send the error message to the user, right? What is the error message? There is no, if that password doesn't match it means we should return as what? Return next, and then again I'm going to call this error handler. So what is displaying here? Yeah, update spelling mistake. New. Again I'm calling this error handler. And here what I'm going to do? Invalid password. Okay, means password doesn't match. Okay. So that error I'm going to send with the respective status code of 401. Okay. Now, if everything is positive, if password is matched, it means no problem. Just we are going to send the token back to the user. Right? Same send token file. Just that code we are calling it. Clear? So wait a second, I'll clear this terminal and then run it again. So what is the error is doing actually here? Okay, so here one extra parenthesis we added. Wait a second. Yeah. Okay. So there was some syntax error in the file. Okay, that yeah. Now I hope you guys also done this. Okay, just we are going to test this. Okay, just we are going to test this in our post. Okay, but before that we need to define the API, right? We must define what? API first of all. Right? For the sign up we define one API, right? Like that for the login also we should define one new more API. That is what login. And then from this auth controller, okay, which function we are going to use it now? Login. Okay, which function we are going to use it now? Login function. Okay, before that we used the sign up function. This is separate function and this is separate function. Now we are going to use this login function. Okay, so that's what here I'm going to write. Okay, here I use this API. Fine. Now all of you open Postman. Okay, now listen. Okay, once you test this, just to save it. Okay, please click this save here. Yeah, now it's saved, right? Now listen again. Click this three dot. Okay, click the three dot in the folder name, left right side of the folder project. Add new more request. Add one more request. Okay, so listen. So this one also become what? Post request only, right? So listen, same API I'm going to copy paste is here. Okay, so here only one change only we need to. Instead of sign up, just we need to use it as what? Login. Right? That's it. Then in the body, what is the data we need to read it from here? What is the data we need to read? Whatever details we should read it from the user here. Just email and password. See here. Now this from this request. Okay. So JSON. Listen, in the body first you have to select the body, then the data type you have to select as well. Okay. Now I'm going to send email and then password. Okay, email should be written inside the double quotes, and this value also should be written inside what double quote. Okay, test at gmail.com, and then password. So now I'm going to add the 1 2 3 4 6 6. Okay, what is the password I already given for this account? Same password I'm entering here. User correct password is not a function. Why did I made any mistake here? User correct password. Okay, where I return correct password. Yeah, wait a second. It's the same name I usually here. Okay, now test it again. Okay, user dot correct password is not a function. Wait a second. So where I did that mistake? Hmm, let's check one by one. Okay, so login function I'm calling. So here is a control I'm creating, and from this I'm calling the correct password. Right? Yeah. So what is the name of it? Before that, sign up. How we use it? User dot create. And then send token we called. Same thing. Email and password we are recurring. Then send one we are doing. Then in password match we are checking password and then user dot password. Yeah, both things are right only. But correct password, it's showing us our error. Right? Now go to the user. So in the user schema, we are sending what correct password async function, and then parameters we are calling, and then we are returning. Yes, everything right, right. User password we are sending, comparing, and then returning. Okay, fine. So here we return it, right? Yeah, this is what our correct method. Okay, and where we is there any other place we return? No. Okay, in this place only here also we return. After that, wait a second. I'll stop this and then okay. So wait a second, guys. I'll just give me some time to debug it. Okay. So here user correct password is not function. So here I'm calling this method, right? First time here I'm declaring it. Yeah, correct. Wait user correct password here where I'm calling it here only, right? Yeah. Okay, okay, okay. Sorry. Yes. I think now it will work. Yes. Yes. Silly mistake. Yes. Now it's written. Yeah. So listen, guys. Okay. So here one mistake I did. Okay. So what does that mean? Listen. This user means that whole instance. Okay. So listen here. Before that, what I did, I used the uppercase U character, right? One single character mistake. Okay. So do that. What happened actually means. So it is checking the whole instance means our entire database is checking. Okay. In our entire database, the whole instance is checking, right? But we should not check in that, right? So comparing password means, listen, user or password means what is the current user we fetched with the help of the email ID. What is the current user we fetched on b- only for that user only we need to compare the password, right? Only means here user means one single document, not the entire database. In this single document only is going to check. Okay, not the instance of the model. Okay, not the instance of the model. Okay, so it will only point out what this document only. Find this user. Okay. On that document, we have a correct password. Understood? That pass in that document we have a correct password method. That's only we are going to call it. Okay. So now just save it. Okay. Now when I click this login, yeah, now I got a response. Okay. Again I got the token, and now I got the my every user data. Okay, whatever fields I define here, that every data I got it here. Means login function also completed. Yes. Just save it. Okay. Then shall we move to the next functionality? That is what logout, right? So here we spend more time in that. Okay. So if the login is correct, we will get a token. If the login is wrong, means we will get a error. Okay. Now let's move to the logout part. Okay. So login means not what is meant by logout. Can you guys tell me what is meant by logout here? Removing authentication. So if any user logged in the application, means we are removing the user. Okay, current login we are going to remove it, right? So that's what we are going to do. Okay, so let's start writing the code to implement the logout feature. Okay, so listen, just I'm going to start typing the code for the logout functionality. Okay, logout, and then here as usual, just I'm first of all I'm going to call this catch async errors. Okay, and then async function here. So listen, as I already mentioned, where this token will be stored in the browser, in the cookie tab, right? So listen, in the send token, from where we are sending in the browser, which area? In browser we have a multiple part, right? In that which area that cookie is storing in the cookie, right? In that place only we have to remove it also, right? So listen. So now I'm going to write the code to remove the cookie. Okay. But listen, one thing if you notice, mean in the browser tab, once the cookie is settled, means we cannot delete that actually. Okay, due to security reasons. So what I can do, mean with the help of the token name, I'm going to update it. Okay, the token. Okay, the cookie. What is the token is set with the name of JW? That I'm going to make it as what null. Okay, null value, and it's going to expire where now only this time, at that time when you are going to call this function, that time only it's going to, we are going to set it as what, null, and this null also we are going to delete. Okay, because after that we need to do the sign up means or login means we need to store it, right? For that we need place, right? For that here I am giving the expiry date of current time. Okay, expiry expires at current time. Okay, like that I mentioned. Okay, when this function is calling, that time JWT we are updating with the null value where this token is present, right? This entire token string is present, right? So this string I'm going to update it to what, null value. Okay, in that way I'm updating, and then this place I'm going to free out. So that's what expires. I'm going to mention it as what, current time. Okay, so listen, this logout means nothing but we are going to remove token from the browser. Okay, we're going to remove the JWT token from the browser. Okay, this is what the logout user functionality. Okay, fine. So listen, for this also, okay, so for this also we need to define the API, right? So move to the roots folder. Okay, and in that auth root file, okay, for logout. Okay, if you're doing the post logout min, just call this auth controller dot logout. Okay, right now all of you open postman and add the new request. Okay, so inside this folder add one more request. Yeah, here you see here, now here I'm adding the new request. Okay, so that API here also we need to write the API, right? That API just I'm going to copy from our existing API. Okay, from that login API, just I'm going to copy it here, and I'm going to add it in this box. Okay, so logout also should be what, post request. So instead of login, just I'm going to rename this API into what, logout, right? Fine. But here we don't need to send any data under logout means just we are going to call it. That's it. API user logout is not found. Why? Just test this. Yeah, because here I written it as a what, get ticket. Okay, but it should be what, post, right? Yeah. Now I'm restarting. Well, let's see whether our server is restarted or not. Once again. Sorry. Fine. Okay. So listen. I think my, oh yeah, I hope my screen is able to. Okay. So listen, logout just rename it as a get only. Fine. So here response we are sending means response we are sending is our cookie only. Okay. Just we are not going to read any data under. Okay. Just we are going to send it as a response. So keep as it is. Okay. Keep it as a get only. Fine. Now here in the logout function, just I'm going to call this. Okay. So I'll just cancel this request. Right. Now after this. Okay. Once we implemented this logout route, one thing we missed out here. What is that? We didn't send the response back, right? We didn't send the response back to the client. Okay, that's what we missed out here. Now listen, here what I'm sending. Here I'm sending back the response to the client. Okay, like success, I'm going to mention it as what? True. Okay, and message, I'm going to display it as what? Logged out. That's all. That's it. Yeah, now it will work. Okay, just I'm sending the get request logout. Okay, so wait a second. Let's check where our database is running. Yeah, it's connected. Now again you can resend it. Now you can resend. Yeah. Now what we got? We got message about logout. Means logout functionality also be implemented. Okay. Now listen. Next what we want? Just we need to just we need only one more functionality, right? That is what get profile. How to get current user detail means how can we our app will know like this is what username and this is what username is. Okay, so how to get the current user data who logged in? For that also we need to use API, right? Okay, get current user those who currently logged in our application. To fetching that user details, here I'm going to implement one more control. Get user profile. Get user profile. Right? So here again I'm is creating one function and then I'm exporting. Name of this function is what? Get user profile. And same, I'm going to wrap it inside the catch async errors. Okay, and inside this async, as same I'm calling this three parameter request response and next to pass out to the passing out to the next controller. Okay, and here I'm going to call it. Okay, now const user. Okay, first of all I want to find the user, right, who's logged in. How can I find? With the help of the user ID only. Okay, so listen, in our database I'm going to find one user with the given ID. Okay, so this ID where I'm going to do from the request, user sending one request, right? From the request I'm getting this ID. Okay, once I found that user, I'm sending that user details in the response. That's it, very simple. Okay, so here I'm writing success is what? True, and then user. That's it. Okay, this is what my row. Okay, right? So this request dot user dot ID is will come from our middleware. Okay, middleware means listen. Okay, between our request and then calling this controller, one more function we are going to create it. That is what the middleware. Okay, so listen. Here we return some middleware that we are going to use it. Okay, when we are going to get calling this profile, that time we are going to call this middleware. With the help of this middleware, we are going to get this ID, and with the help of this ID, we are going to fetch the user from the database. Okay, and then I'm sending that user data in the response. Okay, so for this one also I'll write one controller in the code. Okay, so one root also we should define it, right, for this get user detail. Okay, so this is the get request. Okay, and the root I'm going to define it as what? Me, and then controller is what? Auth controller dot get user profile. Right, so for this we need token. Okay, so later we will test this. Right, so now listen, today's system what we did, we implemented some of the basic authentication feature, right? That is what? Sign up, login, logout, and then get profile to fetch the user, right? Okay, so today we learn how authentication work in pattern and we implement also. Okay, now in next class we will write the schema for the restaurant. Okay, as you know, it's a food order project, So restaurant is must, right? So whatever restaurant detail we should mention it, and how to fetch the data from that. Okay, whatever restaurant oriented detail we should return, that feature we implemented. Okay, and listen here, some more some more controllers are there. Okay, see here I will give you one basic idea of it, but here some more features also there. Okay, like update profile and then update password under. Okay, so listen, for that we are not going to write the code from the scratch. Okay, already predefined codes were there, just you can import it. Okay, so listen, where this code is there mean this is a made. So give me 2 minutes, I'll open this. Okay, where that code is actually stored. Okay, yeah, I hope my screen is visible to you again. Is it visible, right? Is it visible? Yes, right. Okay. So here inside the day 3 section, we have a folder called controllers. Okay. And inside this, we have a file called auth control. Okay. Here you can find the code for the remaining functionality also. Okay. So remaining functionality means like update the password. Okay. Or update user details. Okay. And reset password like that. More functionality is there, right? That will be already written here. Okay. Just you can download this file. Okay. Just you can download this file and can use this code inside your project. Okay, like that we have a control of it, and also we have a model. Okay, user.js. Inside the model folder we have a listen. So far what we built inside the model folder we have a user.js, right? This file and then this auth controller file. Okay, in these two places you have to use this predefined code, right? That's it. Right. So listen, ensure guys you are following this proper folder structure. Okay, and who are all not receiving the offer letter, as we already mentioned. Okay, as we already mentioned in the chat at top. Okay, please send the email to this. Please send one email to this respective email id. Okay, so now again I'm pasting the message. Okay, please check once. Okay, if you didn't receive the offer letter, if you register and then also if you didn't receive the offer letter means please send the email to this email id. Okay, and listen, those who are all didn't got the LMS, listen here. If you register for our course, man, we are already enrolled you guys in this LMS. Okay, just this login credential I send it to you. Okay, now this second link I send, right? So this is what the login credential. Okay, you will get this page. If you don't know the password, username is nothing but which email ID you gave for this internship. What is the email ID you gave for this internship? That email ID is what your username. Okay, enter that again, then click this lost password option. That's it. Okay, so listen, just select this lost password. Okay, and search this email ID. Okay, whatever email ID you mentioned, please select, please type that email ID in that, then you will search it. Okay, so for this email ID, okay, for this email ID you will get one reset password link. Okay, for this email ID you will get one reset password link. With that you can update your password and then you can log in the LMS. That's it. Okay, very simple. Just forget password option only. Select in this login page. If you don't know the password, please select this lost password option. Go to this email, enter your email ID, what you gave for this internship to register, search it for your mail, you will get the reset password link. That's it. Okay. With that, help of that reset link, you can update the new password and then you can do the login in our LMS. Understood? Clear to all? Okay. So remember guys, ensure that before coming to the next class means our Friday. Our next class is on coming Friday. Okay. Before coming to the Friday's session, ensure that your project folder is the same how my project folder is looking. Okay. Auth controller file and then user.js, utils folder, then model utils folder, and then middleware folder. Everything you created properly or not. Check it once. Okay. So these folders are there and files is also there. Please import in your project. Right? It's all clear. Do you have any other doubt? Do you have any other doubt? Is everything clear? Right. Okay, fine. So now we can end our session. Okay. So happy Ugadi and happy Telugu New Year to all the people. Okay, those who are will celebrate this. Okay, we will meet Friday at same time 7 p.m. Okay, and if anyone didn't subscribe this channel, please subscribe it so that you can get the notification instantly. Okay, and those who are didn't log in the LMS, please do log in the LMS following the procedure what I mentioned now. Okay, fine. So thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for attending today's session. Good night to all.